A lonely highway. A young British couple. One terrifying night. One man vanished forever. His killer was caught. But before he died, he took one secret to the grave. Where is Peter Falconio? Peter Falconio, at 28, was a man standing on the cusp of a new chapter, filled with quiet confidence. Originally from Hepworth, West Yorkshire, he was known for his easygoing nature, his warm smile, and a grounded sense of ambition. He had recently completed a degree in building at Brighton University, and the world seemed to be opening up for him. By his side was Joanne Lees, his girlfriend of 5 years. She was vibrant and adventurous, a perfect counterpart to Peter's steady presence. Their journey was more than a holiday. It was a rite of passage. Their plan was ambitious and exhilarating. Nepal, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia. By the time they arrived in Australia in early 2001, they were seasoned travelers, accustomed to the unpredictability of the open road. It was there they purchased the vehicle that would become their home, their transport, and ultimately, the epicenter of their nightmare. A distinctive, bright orange 1990 Volkswagen Combi camper van. This van was their ticket to freedom, a symbol of their self-reliant spirit and their key to unlocking the vast, sun-scorched heart of the continent. They were living the backpacker's dream, collecting memories and experiences that would last a lifetime. They embraced the freedom of having no fixed agenda, letting the road guide them toward their next destination, blissfully unaware of the darkness that lay ahead. As darkness fell, the world outside their camper van was reduced to the narrow cone of their headlights cutting through the pitch-black night. They were alone, surrounded by an immense and silent wilderness, just two people in a tiny van, moving through the vast, empty heart of Australia. About 15 kilometers north of Barrow Creek, a speck on the map, that stop was the pivotal moment. Peter walked to the rear with the other driver to inspect the exhaust. Joanne stayed in the passenger seat, waiting. Seconds stretched into a minute. The van's comforting drone fell silent, replaced by the Outback's immense quiet. The calm was shattered by a single, sharp sound that ripped through the night's silence. Joanne described it as a bang. In his hand, he held a silver handgun. The mundane roadside stop had morphed into a scene of unimaginable terror. Her hands were bound behind her back with crude, black cable ties, a chillingly premeditated detail. She plunged headfirst into the pitch-black bushland, thorny branches tearing at her skin. Attacker shouts angrily. For hours, she played a terrifying game of cat and mouse, holding her breath whenever the sounds of her pursuer grew louder. She listened as it drove away, its taillights disappearing into the northern darkness. After what she estimated to be 5 harrowing hours, a truck driver saw her emerge from the side of the road and stopped. Joanne Lees was safe, but Peter Falconio was gone. He was never seen again. The call from the Barrow Creek Roadhouse shattered the pre-dawn calm of Sunday, July 15, 2001. A small dark pool of what appeared to be blood was found on the highway. This single grim piece of evidence shifted the investigation's tone from a missing person case to a homicide inquiry. The results confirmed what investigators had feared. The blood belonged to Peter Falconio. They found the black cable ties Joanne had described, a sinister indication of the attacker's premeditated intent. One of the largest and most extensive search operations in Australian history was launched. The sheer scale of the task was daunting. They looked for freshly turned earth, drag marks, discarded clothing, any sign of a makeshift grave. The area is dotted with abandoned mine shafts, remote water holes, dense thickets of scrub, all potential hiding places for a body. Despite the monumental effort, the search yielded frustratingly little. The desert held its secrets tight. Forensic specialists found traces of DNA on the back of the shirt. Crucially, this DNA profile belonged to an unknown male. This detailed description was circulated throughout the Northern Territory and across Australia. A mechanic in Alice Springs reported a man who matched the description. His name was Bradley John Murdoch. He was a 43-year-old mechanic and truck driver, known for his intimidating presence and volatile temper. Without hesitation, she identified him. She recognized his eyes, his build, his distinctive facial hair. It was him. The trial finally began in the Supreme Court of the Northern Territory in Darwin in October 2005. They presented the DNA evidence as the cornerstone of their argument, forming an almost irrefutable link between him and the crime. Through it all, she remained steadfast, recounting the terrifying events of that night with a composure that belied the trauma she had endured. On December 13, 2005, the jury delivered its verdict. They found Bradley John Murdoch guilty on all charges. The man responsible was behind bars, but the answer to their most agonizing question, "Where is Peter?" remained locked away. In the years following the trial, the search for Peter Falconio's remains never truly ended. Peter's mother, Joanne Falconio, made repeated heart-wrenching public appeals, begging them to reveal the location of her son's body. He refused to cooperate with investigators, treating any question about Peter Falconio's location with contempt or cold silence. In 2023, Murdoch died in prison from cancer. His death marked the final, definitive end of any hope that he might one day confess. The secret he had guarded so jealously for over 2 decades was now gone with him, taken to the grave. The case fundamentally altered the perception of safety for travelers. It has become more than just a true crime story. It is a modern cautionary tale. More than 20 years have passed. One man was convicted. One family never received complete answers. And somewhere beneath the endless Australian landscape, the final chapter of this mystery may still remain hidden.